But you said that you went to COMSAT and then you later on did your master's from UET. I mean, both of the universities, they are one of the best institutions of Pakistan, and one of the best renowned universities in the
Yes,
country.
yes.
But if I was to talk to you about COMSAT, quite a difficult university to get in, and one of the finest chemical engineering programs in the country. So how was your undergrad in terms of the workload and your general experience? How was it?
In the start, as we all know that when we just go from college to university, we don't have any idea about university life, like how the system works. As in college, we don't have like that much of assignments and quizzes and you can say the mini projects. But when we get into university, then we have to you can say we have a lot of workload. But especially
Mm-hmm.
if we talk about my first year, so we don't have that much workload as the subjects were more related to like you can say the humanities. Like we were studying the English, the Pakistan studies, and
Mm-hmm.
Islamic studies, and something related to that, which is not more related to chemical engineering. But we are also you can say studying the chemical engineering, just basic you can say the basic courses of chemical engineering, which just
Mm-hmm.
involve like you can say the principles, chemical process principles, and some
Mm-hmm.
courses like that. But if I talk about my you can say the third year, or but after third year there are a lot of you can say lab works, like we have to uh, work in a lab for like 3 hours in a day, like in one lab, and sometimes we have 2 to 3 labs continuously in a
Mm-hmm.
day. So that is a you can say little bit of workload. And
Mm-hmm.
also, if we talk about my last year, then in last year we have to work on a this the thesis thing. So it also require a lot of work, and then we have to do a lot of work. It also
Mm-hmm.
require a lot of time, because as we all know that we have to pass it, otherwise we are not going to get a degree and we can waste our 4 years which we have studied. So
Yeah.
overall the workload is you can say the manageable,
Mm-hmm.
not that much low. So
Mm-hmm.
if you are something, if you try to you can say if you are a little bit good in studies, then you can easily cope up with the workload.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay. But but how long is a bachelor in ComSat?
it's of 4 years.
It's 4 years. But so if I was to ask
Yeah.
you if you could briefly describe how is those 4 years divided up? Like the first year, like you said, that's basic chemical engineering, and then you start to get more and more specialized, and then you have labs. If you would briefly
Okay.
describe how is it like set up in the 4 year program?
Uh, Okay. So if we talk about the 4 year program, the first year is a very basic program. Like we just studied the engineering drawings, the
Mm-hmm.
physics, the English, and the subjects that are not that much related to chemical engineering, and some
Mm-hmm.
little bit subjects of chemical engineering. Then in the if we talk about my second year, then we just start studying. Then we don't have any humanities like course. We just study all the chemical engineering things. Then in the third year, we have like if we have studied the thermodynamics one in second year, then we will study the thermodynamics two in our third year. And as you know, that there are many courses in chemical engineering that are directly related with you can say the year one or year two. So if
Mm-hmm.
we are already studied this, then we can easily you can say study that in third year. And also in third year we have a lot of lab work. And if we talk about my fourth year, then again we just study the courses like health safety,
Mm-hmm.
environmental safety. And then we also
Mm-hmm.
have another like our optional subjects, like either you want to go in oil and gas, or you
Mm-hmm.
want to go in a polymers, or you want to go in a biochemical engineering, whatever they are offering at that time. And
Mm-hmm.
also we do study the plant design. That is also a very big course. Like we have to if we talk about the thesis thing, then we have to design a project in a group of 4 people, and then we have to defend it in front of our teachers, then in front of external professor. It can
Mm-hmm.
be from any university, and from any you can say chemical engineering university. And then
Mm-hmm.
they took our interview with respect to that project, that what we have done, and then we can have that degree of chemical engineering.
Mm-hmm. Okay, amazing. That's one hell of a ride. If getting from going from very basic to getting to becoming something very specialized towards the end. And
Exactly, exactly.
a lot of students they actually lose heart in the very beginning because they many students assume I myself assumed when I started already from day one you're going to be doing engineering calculations, but it's actually a very slow process of molding you towards the learning. You start off with very basic physics, math, and then you move on to something more
Exactly.
complicated and then into chemical engineering. So that is something that
Exactly.
students who are planning to apply should really understand, that it is a long game and not just a 1 week of directly jumping into engineering calculations. So thank you for
Exactly.
sharing that.
Exactly.
Thank you.
You
But you mentioned labs. Now, for the people that are listening, could you define those labs? Are those chemistry labs or are they chemical engineering labs? And what exactly is the
No, no,
difference
no,
between the two?
not okay. No, not that like in chemistry lab. We do just like as we have one course that is mass transfer. Like
Mm-hmm,
in mass transfer, we have to they have like small scale pilot plants in our laboratory. So
mm-hmm,
we had like the distillation column, the leaching process, the solvent extraction, and that column. Then we have another lab that is of heat transfer. Then we
mm-hmm,
also study all that processes with respect to, we can say, the pilot plants. Then
mm-hmm,
also we have one subject that is simultaneous heat and mass transfer.
mm-hmm,
Then we have one and lab for fuel and combustions in which we study
mm-hmm,
the properties of different fuels like diesel, the gasoline, the kerosene. That we just do the different like the experiments to measure their flame point, the
mm-hmm,
combustion point, every point. So
mm-hmm,
these are then we also had a lab of this process principles in which we have process control, sorry, in which we have to see that how loops work in an industry, like how
mm-hmm,
DCC systems work, like if we
mm-hmm,
are running an automated plant, then how
mm-hmm,
to see the values, how to read the data. Then also
mm-hmm,
we had a lab for thermodynamics. So it has a multiple
mm-hmm,
lab work, but not that related to chemistry.
mm-hmm.
We had one
Exactly.
lab in
Mm-hmm,
chemistry, but only in our first year, as we
mm-hmm,
had organic and inorganic chemistry in our
mm-hmm,
first year of chemical engineering. And after that, we didn't have to study the chemistry. It's little bit involved, but not that much in depth. Like if I am doing a BSc honors in chemistry, it's a totally two different fields.
mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing such great examples about chemical engineering labs, because it really helps people put a perspective on what to expect when you're going into a chemical engineering degree. So thank you. Uh, towards your degree, did you specialize towards a specific topic?
Yes, in my last year, as we all know that they're just like all of my friends, as everyone is very interested to go in oil and gas, and everyone think that oil is gas is one of the most, you can say, that
Mm-hmm,
if you want to get rich in few days, then always go for oil and gas. So as with all of my friends, we decided to opt for oil and gas. As at my time, they were offering polymers, they were
mm-hmm,
offering biochemical engineering, then they were also offering this oil and gas. So we
mm-hmm,
decided to just to opt for oil and gas. And if I remember, everyone in my class opted for oil and gas, and they don't have that much seats. Like they also said that some students should also go in polymers and biochemical engineering, as if everyone is doing oil and gas, then who will cover the other optional
mm-hmm.
subjects? So then
Exactly.
then my university like some motivated the people, the importance of polymers and then the importance of biochemical engineering, and then some students decided to go in that, but I
Mm-hmm,
ended up doing up in oil and gas.
mm-hmm. Okay, so you were one of the lucky ones that did get a chance to go into oil and gas.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I guess that's the dream of every chemical engineer to get into the oil and
Exactly.
gas industry. That's uh,
Exactly.
but but then if I was to ask, because you did your bachelor's and then you specialized in the oil and gas sector, and then you continue to do your master program later on. And if I remember correctly, you said that you did your master's in polymer and process engineering,
Exactly.
correct?
Exactly. Yes.
Hmm. But then let's slightly talk more about your master program as well, because thank you for listening. And if you have not done so already, remember to become a free member at Chemical Engineering Life. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and stay tuned for more upcoming podcasts with chemical engineers. Thank you and have a great day.